Last week on Sailing Zephyr, fiberglass works came to an end, as well as some of the jobs on our to-do list. My brother Marcus arrived to give us a hand crossing the Atlantic.
Without my love for the ocean, I would be long gone by now. It's some kind of devotion that brings me down.
Now that we have an extra set of hands on the boat, we get Marcus to work, helping us on any last-minute jobs, like checking the rigging before our crossing. So guys, a little bit about the head cleaning. I arm myself with these two tools. The first one is just vinegar, and then the second one just vinegar, but it has like raspberry smell to it. So what I do is when I'm getting low on this one, I actually top it up with just the normal vinegar, and just because it's easier just to spray into the bowl with this than pouring this down. Then what I do is I add some bicarbonate soda. I throw that in the bowl, add that, let it work for a little bit, and then I scrub it off. And that's how I clean the toilet. So it's all eco-friendly and there's nothing chemical involved whatsoever.
The other thing we're going to do today is I'm going to install a wooden plank between the two stanchions on the starboard side near the front. That's where we're going to put all our supplementary diesel cans and a couple of water cans and a petrol can. We're not going to carry too many water cans because, as I said, we have a water maker on board. However, we're going to carry a couple just because the water maker could break and then we're out of water. So we still want to make sure we have sufficient water. We'll also buy a bunch of water just to store inside the boat as well. But yeah, so we're going to have about 10 diesel cans in total. We've got one that stores just at the back here, and then we'll have 9 on the railing. 20-liter jugs, so that we should have 200 liters, which is basically about the size of our fuel tank. I think we have a 209-liter fuel tank, so that basically gives us 2 tanks of fuel for our trip. So that should be more than sufficient for any motoring we should have to do. If, for example, we can't sail at all, or there's an emergency and we can't use the sails, we should have sufficient fuel to get us all the way to our next destination. So I'm going to be building as I said, a plank between the two stanchions so that we can secure all our supplementary cans to the deck, because there's just nowhere to put them. So the other thing we want to work on today, I want to try and work on today, is the oven. Essentially, the stove works fine, so if we're rocking and rolling, no problems. It continues to work, but for some reason the oven, the flame goes out whenever we have a bit of motion. So I'm not sure why that is. I'm going to try and look into it, because that is going to be an absolute pain if we're trying to cook while we're in transit. So I have no idea about ovens, especially gas ones. So it'd be interesting to see. I've read through all the Force 10 books that I have, and it doesn't tell me anything about it. So I think it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to have a look around. So if I don't figure it out, then I'll be onto Dr. Google. So we'll see what happens.
Shake test. Whee!
Yes.
Before leaving the lagoon, we fuel up and get some water, all in preparation for our Atlantic crossing happening in less than a week.
Just friends, you said.
fueled up and ready to leave the lagoon. You ready for some sailing?
Sail. We've got 15 knots. It'll be on the beam or just behind us.
You ready for some sailing, Marky?
You.
Marky driving for the first time. Woo!
Doing great.
5.1 knots.
Yeah, we're rolling.
After a lovely sunset sail, we arrive in Marigot Bay, set our anchor and snub up.
How's your first sail?
Good, really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was our top speed?
There we go, it's just 6.
6.3.
6.3.
That's
yeah.
good. Did you enjoy
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Cool, man.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And now for a swim.
Yeah, buddy.
I was spinning. I could always tell it was the end of the beginning.
After a tough morning scrubbing the hull, we head to Maho Beach, the world's scariest beach. It's the scariest beach probably I've ever been to. We spend the next few days enjoying the beautiful weather.
Time has been so hard on us, my friend. Sun goes down, but we get back again. Trouble is a silly thing, it always ends up breaking, but everything still works out in the end.
Oh, there's a turn!
We're lying.
No way, man. That's a solid dude. That afternoon, Natalie gives me a haircut, and from the faces she pulls, it doesn't bode well. What? Oh, Prairie?
Oh, no, Marky. The next day is provision day. James, now sporting a dashing new haircut, Marcus and I head out to do the biggest shop we have ever done.
Oh, you have the strangest way
So that was our first provision. As you can see, we got a ton of stuff. We're actually still not done. There's a bunch of things that Nat and I are still gonna go to the other supermarket and get. And now we gotta get all of this into this little car. There's the wheel height now.
Like waves.
What, is that some low tires or what?
Yeah. The space and
The love is for no one. Love is a blind man who must be set free. 2 hours on the floor, a band-aid on the store. 2 hours, one more. It's such a hopeless situation, but we do it again. 2 hours on the floor, band-aid on the store. 2 hours, one more. Oh, it's such a hopeless situation, but we do it again. We should really leave this one alone, but it keeps coming back, coming back, coming back. Oh, we should really leave this one alone, but it keeps coming back, coming back, coming back. 2 hours on the floor. You better wake me up, blood ain't on the sword.
So we got our first load. I think it'll be 4 loads to get there.
Band-aid on the sword. 2 hours on the floor. Band-aid on the sword. 2 hours, one more.
So we got 10 bags of cereal. We have these loaves of bread would bake really quickly.
Band-aid on the sword. 2 hours, one more. Oh, it's such a hopeless situation, but we do it again. We do it again.
So it's the night before our Atlantic crossing. The boys are upstairs getting the last few things done. I'm down here getting the last video done. And I think we're pretty much there. Anthony arrives tomorrow morning and he'll be our 4th crew member. The reason I'm in this at the moment for next week and not footage is because I don't have any more footage. This is the last day before we leave. Hopefully after this there's no delay in our videos, but if there is and there is no video out, I'm very, very sorry, but it is because we are crossing the Atlantic and I won't have any internet. Anyway, gotta get back to it. Lots of love to all of you. Wish us luck. Bye.